Hey, what's going on, guys? What's happening? YouTube, you guys have tuned in to Rules for Rebels. And today we have an article for you from Yahoo News titled 5 Influencers Share How Much They Get Paid Per Ad Post. Influencers and influencer marketing has been kind of a hot topic. I think it was just a day or two ago. We did another video kind of talking about, like, is influencer marketing dying? In that article from, I believe it was the Wall Street Journal. And I'll try to remember to link that down below if you didn't catch that one. It basically kind of talked about how the amount of money companies are dumping into influencer marketing continues growing year after year, despite the results continuing to get worse and worse and worse year after year, both in terms of ROI and the levels of engagement on those posts. It also kind of talked about how people who view social media, people who the way that people view their favorite influencers, people are kind of starting to realize that influencers are not promoting products that they actually like, that they actually believe in, that they actually use. They're just getting paid to promote products. And so, I forget if I posted or not. I made another video where I was talking about some shifts that I see happening in the influencer marketing world in 2020 and beyond. I think one of the things that we're going to start to see is influencers no longer have as much influence, and it's really, when you pay an influencer, you're more paying for an ad spot than you are actually paying for people to believe that XYZ person actually uses your product. I do think that you can overcome this by actually making somebody the face of your brand, or working with an influencer ongoing, over a period of time. I think then people actually do start to associate an influencer with your brand. But outside of that, I think people are just paying for traditional advertising. People are just paying to get in front of an audience. Nobody really thinks that, like, oh, people are actually going to believe that this person actually uses this product. Anyhow, there's been a lot of talk about influencer marketing. It's a hot topic. It's one of the more popular forms of advertising for e-commerce stores, for brands, for everybody else. And here I thought this would be an interesting article. We'll take a look at the article as well as the 5 influencers featured and what they're paid per post. The article starts with, these days it seems like everyone is an influencer, or at least wants to be one. It's easy to see the appeal. Getting paid to talk on social media about brands that you already love seems like a pretty sweet way of earning a living. Take this sponsored post, for example, and we have Noelle Downing doing a post for the Cole Haan outlet. And let's see, what does Noelle say? I need your help. Which shoes are your favorite? Black boots, knee-high brown, or heels? Comment down below. Took a trip to the Cole Haan outlet at Woodbury Commons and got all these amazing deals. Legit, up to 60% off. They're so insanely comfortable. I love shopping so much. Hashtag Cole Haan all day. Hashtag Cole Haan paid partner. She does got her FTC disclosure there. And then they link to it. Or maybe this one. Who do we got here? We got Alicia Tenise of Washington, D.C. I was going to make an inappropriate comment about her boobs, but I'll control myself here. Have you ever found a bra that's so good you never want to take it off? Well, I just did. Introducing Somain Intimates. Brand new Vanishing 360 bra for starters. It's so comfortable that I even fell asleep in it. Whoops. It has invisible edges, infinite stretching, so it will layer perfectly under all your OOTDs, and ultra-thin padding. But what actually goes into a sponsored campaign? How do influencers determine what to charge for sponsored posts? What is the standard rate for an Instagram post? And for that matter, is there a standard rate? Some bloggers accept gifted campaigns where they receive products in exchange for social media posts. Others work on paid campaigns where the brand and influencer agree on a rate and specifications for what the post should be. And I'm going to I'm going to interrupt myself here for a second. I actually had a call today with one of the partner success reps over at Caro. Caro is a really cool free, and this isn't a sponsored post. I'm not being an influencer here. I legit use this thing. It's completely free. There's nothing to gain by sharing it with you. I actually use it on 3 of my stores. But Caro is a free Shopify app. It basically helps you find influencers amongst, first, your existing customers, second, people on your email list, and thirdly, just people who follow you on social. I think the best influencer relationships, the best influencer partnerships are when you pick people out of your very own customer base, because these are people who already use your product. These are people who already buy from you. And so I just think it's a much more genuine, much more authentic relationship, and you can probably get them cheaper as well. So check out Caro, really cool app. And if you guys want, let me know. I'll do a more in-depth review about that. The article goes on to say, as the industry grows, there are more factors to consider when influencers partner with brands. More brands are cracking down on influencers who capitalize on misleading engagement, such as common pods and fake followers, to focus on working with influencers who have an authentic and engaged audience, and therefore will have a larger return on investment, ROI, for the brands. And that actually brings up another interesting point. Let me know if you guys would like to see a video on how to choose influencers. I kind of knew some of this stuff intuitively, but sitting on this call with, I think the guy's name was David over at Caro, he kind of showed me more about the Caro app, and the Caro app has actually improved a lot recently. I did an influencer campaign maybe about a month ago, and it didn't go great. It didn't go terrible. It was just kind of so-so. They've actually rolled out a lot of new tools. They're actually going to make it a lot more beneficial, but also we were kind of looking through some of my customers, and he was kind of pointing out like, oh, you don't want to go with this guy. This guy buys, likes, and follows. Oh, you don't want to go with this guy. And it kind of brought up something I hadn't thought about before, and he was basically saying, I think he said a good engagement rate, like a quality engagement rate, is about 3%. Personally, I thought that was a little bit low, but there were some people we had who had like 17%, 20%, 23% engagement rates, and he was like, look, man, he's like, look at the engagement rate, it's good. He's like, but let's go over and look at the comments. And either these influencers would have very few comments, or they would have a lot of comments, but they would all look like bot comments, like nice day, or hey, or looks cool, just like very like vague shit. Whereas if you look at the influencers who actually have an engaged audience, people are actually engaging with them, like having conversations with them in the posts. And it just doesn't, it basically just doesn't seem like random like bot stuff shouted out. Anyhow, Kaylee Reed, an influencer marketing consultant based in Calgary, Alberta, told the Huffington Post that she primarily works with micro-influencers who have an Instagram following of 50,000 or less. I've been preaching this for a long time. I think micro-influencers are the way to go. I think their audiences are more engaged. I think they have less inflated heads about their value. And I just feel like campaigns go better with them. Reed works with brands in the fashion, beauty, and lifestyle spaces and serves as a middleman connecting influencers with brands who are looking to hire bloggers to promote their products or services. I've paid influencers with as little as 1,000 followers if they fit the campaign criteria, and I thought they could knock it out of the park, Reed told the Huffington Post. I'm also more likely to pay a creator of any size that I know already has a relationship with because I know and trust them to follow through on deliverables. You'd be surprised how many influencers ghost and don't follow guidelines, post and delete, etc. It's a risk for brands to invest in new influencers. I'd rather work with people we know and trust, and that is so true. Influencers are a pain in my fucking ass. I kind of hate them. It is an effective marketing form of marketing, but influencers are a pain in the ass to work with. Emma Grace Moon, who is based in New York City and coordinates with influencers for brands, told the Huffington Post she's had some of her top performing campaigns with freelance writers, photographers, and other creatives as opposed to more traditional influencers. Moon told the Huffington Post, follower demographic is key, as I want to ensure that the influencer's followers demo is either aligned with the business's demo or is one that we want to tap into. Aside from numbers, there can be a lot of responsibility that comes with having a platform big or small, so I always look to see if the influencer is using their platform to evoke change or spark a discussion. Moon also echoed Reed and agreed that micro or nano influencers, generally influencers with a following of between 1,000 and 10,000 Instagram followers, often provide the best ROI to brands because of their hyper-engaged audiences. Very, very true. I value and acknowledge the hard work that influencers do, Moon said. Many of the influencers I work with contribute to increase revenue, brand awareness, and social media traffic, and in such an authentic and organic way. Since the influencer industry is still relatively new, there isn't a lot of information out there about what influencers should charge for certain posts and what kind of factors might increase the price. Neither Moon nor Reed has worked with brands that required influencers to sign non-disclosure agreements that would prevent them from talking about how much they'd been paid, although Reed guesses that could be the case for some large influencers. Moon said, I believe influencers should have the power to talk about their pay, as that gives more information and strength to negotiate fair rates and sustain their work. And I think probably one of the biggest influencer deals that has ever gone down is one that just recently happened. I don't know if you guys are familiar with G Fuel. It's like a pre-workout, but it's kind of more for gamers, so we'll just call it like a focus supplement, I guess. PewDiePie And that brand has recently partnered with Twitch. They've done a lot of great collaborations, but they recently basically made PewDiePie the face of their brand. PewDiePie has his own G Fuel flavor. It's lingonberry, and that's kind of one of the things we discussed in the article the other day, and one of the directions I see influencer marketing going forward. I think brands are going to be kind of partnering with influencers and giving them their own lines or making them the face of the brand, as opposed to like, hey, give us a one-time shout out, because that just doesn't really work anymore. So what exactly does it cost these days to hire an influencer to promote a product? We reached out to 5 influencers across the country to provide some insight into their rates for recent brand collaborations, taking into account factors like exclusivity, usage rights, and campaign deliverables. Usage rights is another interesting thing to point out. If you do a campaign with an influencer, make sure you write into the contract or at the very least negotiate via email that you have the right to use that for pretty much anything you want to. You want to use that influencer's face holding your product on the front page of your website as a hero image. Make sure you include that. You want to be able to use that influencer's posts on social media, repost them, basically show everybody, hey, this influencer fucks with us. Make sure you write all of that into your contract or make that known in emails and things like that as well. So let's see, we got Tomi Obibi, which is Tomi Tomicha. And let's see what Tomi Tomicha got paid. I like her sweater. New hair, who dis? Okay, basically a lighter version of my already new hairstyle, but I still love it. And just realized with all the hairstyles I have in mind for the next 6 months, my feed is going to look like a mess. Sorry, and I'm not even sure who this company is, but let's see what she got paid. Oh, BB is a fashion and lifestyle influencer based in Charlotte, North Carolina, with Instagram following of 19,200. She has been blogging and creating content for 4 years and just got her first paid collaboration after 1 year of blogging. The brand category, lifestyle and women's health. Deliverables, 1 Instagram carousel feed with 2 images. A shot with a photographer OBB hired. She was gifted 2 boxes of tampons, and the photo was posted was a lifestyle shot incorporating the product into what the hell do tampons have to do with her hair? I really don't get it. She was paid $1,000. She set the rate when the brand reached out. Exclusivity, no work for competitors for 3 months. Usage, 1 year of image rights for use in social media, email, newsletters, and on the brand's website. How long the image needed to stay live through the end of the calendar year. Her 2 cents, the rule of $100 per 1,000 followers is long gone. Brands have realized that a large following doesn't automatically equal engagement, and it certainly doesn't guarantee any kind of ROI for them. If you're a blogger who develops quality content for brands and have an authentic approach to storytelling, you're already more valuable than just an average influencer. My audience loves when I share more than the cute outfit on sale. For example, I regularly share about the need for diversity in blogging and race as it intersects with fashion. Being an influencer means you have the ability to do some good while sharing your passions, and that's what I love to do. Here we have Audrey Kate Lopez, simply Audrey Kate. Let's see what hers is. I always think it's funny, like, can we tell what the hell the sponsored post is for before reading the caption? I'm going to guess clothing, maybe? Let's see. You've probably seen a lot of Instagram stories on my profile this month talking about fall semester fashion fundamentals, but I've also realized that maybe some of you may be new around here and want to know more about my program. So what exactly is fashion fundamentals? I guess we'll just jump on down. Lopez is a fashion, beauty, career, and lifestyle influencer and stylist based in New York City with an Instagram following of 31,100. She's been blogging and creating content for 7 years and just got her first paid collaboration after 3 years. Category, beauty, deliverables. And deliverables is really important. Make sure you're letting influencers know exactly what you want out of them. I think a common mistake people who are new to working with influencers make is like, hey, will you promote my product? Okay, sure, send it to me and give me $200. And then you do, and then they wind up putting up one thing on a story. Well, a story lasts for 24 hours. Don't get me wrong, stories have great engagement, but a story lasts for 24 hours and then it goes away. I would much rather have a post on Instagram, as that's going to stay up there forever or for 1 calendar year or whatever you negotiate. I see a lot of influencers selling posts for like a couple hours, like, yeah, I'll give you a post on my Instagram for 3 hours, and then they delete it. Like, how many people are actually going to see it within that 3-hour period? So make sure you're very specific on the deliverables. The deliverables here was 1 blog post or YouTube video, 2 Instagram feed posts showing Lopez using a new product the brand had released, 1 Instagram story with swipe up feature. She was asked for 3 frames and posted 7 during the campaign, and 1 Facebook post with a still photo that linked to the blog post. She hired a photographer and videographer to work with her on the project. What she was paid, $3,500. She set the rate and has worked with the brand before. Exclusivity, 3 days before and after the sponsored post went live, so much shorter exclusivity period. Usage, paid advertisements, and organic use of the image on the brand's social media. That's kind of negotiating where you can use these images. How long the image needed to stay live did not state in the contract, but she said 60 days for the project. Her 2 cents, influencer marketing has helped new brands boom over the past few years and become major players in the fashion and beauty industries. Glossier, FabFitFun, and Funny Little Things are examples. By using influencers to create sponsored content for their products, brands can expand their customer base, create an authentic relationship with new and current customers, and stay relevant and relatable. I've been very lucky to work with brands that I have organically used and shopped for years and create fun sponsored content for my audience. I really refined the brands that I worked with over the years. So I'm kind of confused here. She says this was the first time she was paid, but then she's talking about working with people for years. Who knows? Emma Cortez, Emma's Edition. Let's see. Can we tell what it is? I'm going to guess something fashion. Let's see. What are 3 of Soho's most Instagram-worthy places? Taste Koku, plant-based ice cream. The Flower Shop, rainbow and mural desserts. And Lottery Paris. I'm sharing 4 locations on the blog. Let's see here. Cortez Fashion and Travel and Cortez is a fashion, travel, and lifestyle influencer based in Seattle with an Instagram following of 29,400. She's been blogging for 6 years and got her first paid collaboration after about 3 years. Category fashion, deliverables, 1 Instagram carousel with 3 images, 1 Instagram story, 5 frames, and the last story link needed to have a link to the brand's website, and 8 images released to the brand for use on the brand's website. What she was paid, $1,500 and a $100 gift card. She was originally offered $800 and negotiated up. Exclusivity, none. All content rights released to the brand for 1 year. How long the images needed to stay live, not specified. It seems like everyone's kind of lacking in that area. I would make sure to spell that out. Her 2 cents, asking to be paid for the content I create was one of my biggest learning curves in blogging. For the first 2 years, I struggled to see the value in my brand and in the content I produced, and I wish there had been more transparency when I was getting started. I always try to be open with other women about how to ask to be paid or what factors you can charge more for in brand campaigns, because I know how hard it was for me to get started. I truly believe that the influencer industry will continue to grow and mature, and that bloggers and influencers should not be afraid to be asked to be paid. And you know what? I think there's kind of 2 ends of the spectrum here. I think you have a lot of influencers who aren't shy at all about throwing out ridiculous numbers that they're not worth. And then I think you have oftentimes better quality influencers who kind of have imposter syndrome and don't really see their value. So that's kind of interesting to see. We got Sarah Chihuahua, Curvily. Let's see. I have no idea what she's promoting here, but that's an interesting outfit. I'm back, babes. Took a few days off posting on social because I felt like I needed it. And now I'm back with a major blog post on curvily fashion for my lovely readers. This post took me longer than it should have because of a number of technical difficulties, blah, blah, blah. So Chihuahua is a plus-based fashion influencer based in New York City with an Instagram following of 48,800. She's been blogging and creating content for 7 years and got her first paid collaboration after 3 years. Category, fashion. So it seems like fashion is one of the more popular areas for influencers. Deliverables, 2 static Instagram feed posts, no carousel required, and a minimum of 5 Instagram stories, at least 1 with a swipe up link. What she was paid, $1,800 and the $750 shopping credit for personal use. No exclusivity, and the usage was social media on the brand's account. How long the image needed to stay live. Again, another one didn't specify. Her 2 cents, I think that for readers, there's often a misconception that paid selling out, but for my new bloggers who I respect in the industry and for myself, that's not the case. For fashion, I will only post clothing that I actually wear and will rewear after I post about it. If it's a new brand that I'm not familiar with, I make sure to take time to test out the products first, and if I can't honestly recommend it, I won't proceed with the partnership. I'm not independently wealthy, so saying no to money can be stressful, but it's definitely worth it in the long run to preserve my integrity and keep the trust of my readers. I think that's a great attitude to have. And then I think lastly here, we got Caitlin Patton, Kate Patton, and Lincoln Park. Is this Chicago Lincoln Park? Let's see, TGIF plus TG. I finally found a snakeskin bodysuit that won't break the bank. This one is $6. Not kidding. Comes in 2 shades. You got to have your snakeskin bodysuit. Patton is a fashion, beauty, and lifestyle influencer based in Chicago with an Instagram following of 24,900. She's been blogging for 4 years and got her first paid brand collaboration after 1 year. Category beauty, so these are all beauty influencers. 1 Instagram deliverables, 1 Instagram feed post, 8 Instagram story frames. She was paid $2,000, originally offered 800, negotiated up. Exclusivity 2 months, usage 6 months of digital usage. How long the image needed to stay live, 1 year. And her 2 cents, I've started leaving all sponsored content live on my Instagram feed, regardless of what the contract stipulates. Removing the content off my blog or social media accounts would indicate that I was not proud of the work that I did, or that I did not want to be associated with a brand partner. Both are deal breakers for me when it comes to taking on partnerships. If you're an influencer raving about a new product, shampoo, but a month later it's been removed from your feed and replaced with a similar ad for a competitor product, audiences will see right through it. And I think that's also kind of a great attitude to take. We've been rambling on for a while. I'm gonna go hoarse. My girlfriend's gonna be pissed that I haven't cooked dinner yet. So let's kind of just take a look at a couple comments and then we'll move on. Influencers are the social media equivalent of celebrities, of using celebrities as brand spokesmen. I'm sure it's easier for small brands with marketing budgets to approach a social media influencer who probably has smaller fees and you pay licenses as celebs. Very true. There is a cool app called Open Sponsorship if you do have bigger pockets and want to hire celebrities or athletes. And I'll tell you, it's not as expensive as you think it would be. They've influenced me not to click on any more articles about influencers. You ever see Selena Gomez or Kay put out a post with "I'm wearing a blank tonight, isn't it cute"? 1 post, 2 posts, 300 grand to them. No reason. Shouldn't be some more blue collar types doing the same. If you can make money for posting pictures on your social media account, hats off to you. And then a bunch of other stuff. So I'll link to this article if anybody wants to give it a full read. Thought it was kind of interesting getting kind of an inside look at not only what influencers are being paid, but also like what are the stipulations or the terms of the contract. I think this is some great information and some great things to think about for any of you who are thinking about working with influencers, or for those of you guys who are influencers or are trying to get into the influencer game. There's some things for you to think about in negotiating your terms and your money and your deal as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If so, give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor and click that subscribe button below, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.